Now, Will Compton, I'm sure you've been training like crazy, so you haven't been on media as much.
Right.
But there was beef between RG3 and his old coach, Jay Gruden. Remember now, Jay Gruden's the guy that benched RG3 for Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
And RG3 took some shots at old Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden, I think, had himself a couple Casamigos and decided to go ahead and shoot back.
Oh, yeah?
And one person was actually in the team meeting that they're talking about when it happened and decided to break it down and give the inside scoop on both of them.
Is that Brother Compton?
And that's Will Compton. Head coach of the White All-Star team, Will Compton. Please take it away.
Fun couple days on the app, boys. Fun couple days on the X app. If you haven't been following,
it's definitely not on the TV there. It's not. We can hear it. I don't know if they. There we go.
From back in 2014.
Start it over for the good people. Start it over for the good people, Chris.
All because fun couple days on the app, boys. Fun couple days on the X app. If you haven't been following, Jay Gruden, RG opening up a nice can of beef from back in 2014. It's all coming to life right in front of our eyes, all because of a tweet Jay had the other night during the Eagles-Bucks game. Buccaneers getting after Jalen Hurts' ass. Jay puts out a tweet basically saying, like something like he feels sorry for Jalen Hurts the way Philly's protecting him. I'm sorry if I put any of my quarterbacks through that. Like being a jokester, Jay's a funny guy, but I'm sure he's just putting out the tweet because he's an offensive guy. He's watching the game. He's making a tweet, whatever. Rob sees it, wants to dunk on him, saying, "Say what?" Basically alluding to, "Hey, I was that victim in your system. Like I was Jalen Hurts in your game." And then Jay claps back, "Were you not prepared, Robert?" Then Robert claps back, "Hey, you said you didn't know how to coach a quarterback who could run and pass and have the skill set like me." And I'm personally assuming it was like that was when they were transitioning to Kirk. Maybe Jay just said something like that to him, kind of just like, "Hey, Will, you're a hell of a linebacker. You had a hell of a training camp, maybe the best training camp we've ever seen, but you're probably best suited for 31 other football teams, son." And then then Robert takes it to his podcast, talks about this time where he called out his teammates. There's a team meeting that goes on, and it was a asshole tight team meeting. I'm talking, we're all in there. We're like, oh shit, what's going down here? RC did have to stand up. They go back and forth about how Jay says you need to be a guy when you look after a loss. You take all the blame as a quarterback, and then when you win, you give it to all your other teammates. And because RG was in the media basically throwing his teammates under the bus, but then RG saying, "Hey, Jay, you told me to say that," and then Jay didn't back him. I don't know. I'm saying some of it's cap, some of it whatever. But that goes back and forth. That team meeting did happen. Ultimately, what it comes down to, here's to me the timeline. RG has a hell of a rookie year. Tears his knee. It sucks. Like he was a stud. He ultimately just didn't bounce back from his knee injury. He wasn't RG3. They was never come back. It's not like they needed more patience or they needed more time. Like for whatever reason, whether he rushed coming back, whatever it was, it didn't work out. You moved to Kirk Cousins. Kirk was the better quarterback in Jay's system. Jay, it's well documented. He didn't mess with RG. We felt it in the locker room, all that stuff. And so you lead up all that. Kirk takes over. It's an awkward year. RG's the scout team guy. He's making shitloads of money on his 5th year. It's just a very awkward year. Now it's all coming to life in Twitter on real time. Ultimately, to me,
not a big fan of awkward. I like awkward better.
Like, it's all petty. It's all petty bullshit. It's petty bullshit that I love to watch. I love to eat popcorn too. It makes me wear the beanie and the Gruden Grinder shirt and like, hey, saddle up, boys. I'm texting with ex-teammates. Hey, you checking this out? It's all coming. Their beef and it's coming to life, type of thing. But it's like, you know, and RG's talking about, oh, we know where the bodies are buried. There's bodies buried on both sides. Don't get it twisted. But to me, you know, I don't know how to put this in, like, I hope it lands softly. But to me, it's like RG would love to have a reason for why it didn't work out in Washington. And ultimately, it just all falls like, how could we have been better individually?
Boom. All right.
Like,
that's it right there.
I don't know. To me, it's all petty. But
yeah. So there you go. You're all caught up. RG3 goes out there, and I think the last line is the right line. He's just looking for a reason why the rookie of the year never, and the number 2 overall pick in the draft to, remember who was number 1?
RG3?
Yep.
Nah.
Andrew Luck.
Okay.
Andrew Luck, and then RG3. And RG3 was unreal as a rookie.
Stupid.
He was better than Lamar Jackson. People don't remember what he. I remember being a Giant fan watching him his rookie year, going, "Oh my God, we got 15 years of this.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
This is Randall Cunningham 2.0. This is unbelievable." Right. And then he tore that knee in the playoffs, put himself back in, and was never the same player ever. Jay Gruden takes over from Mike Shanahan. Do you know the coaches Jay Gruden had on that staff?
No.
It's unreal. Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Mike McDaniel,
right,
Stefanski, I think. Like 7 or 8 head coaches in the NFL today were on that Washington staff. And that's what Gruden was kind of like. And then Gruden got drunk or something and put out another tweet after this that was like, "We didn't want you in Washington. Cleveland didn't want you. Baltimore didn't want you, but be mad at me." And it was like, ooh, but
spicy.
Ooh, so there you go. RG3, then I guess they squashed it up or whatever. But I've seen people do that, guys that I played with, not as much now because it's 10 years since I played, but they're like, as soon as you get released, it's they never had a good thing to say about the organization. The coach was trash. The organization is this. This at least is something in your sport you don't really have to deal with, right? You either beat the guy or you don't beat the guy. Although I guess you could say they didn't book me for the right fights or they fucked with me. I guess there's always something you can say.
Fuck that.
Yeah?
Yeah, you gotta. If you get into the sport, you gotta be down to fight anybody.
That's something
in this sport.
Henry Hoof posts about that a lot. It's like the fighters fight mentality, huh?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you don't get it. And there's something to be said for people picking smart fights on their way up. And
is that something that they do?
Yeah, I mean, a big one that people are like just realizing is like Khabib. Like Khabib, I don't think Khabib fought someone with a winning record until he was in the UFC.
Is that right?
Yeah, and there's something that's what like boxers do. Like boxers, you go to like Mexico and you fight guys who are they know what they're doing, or they know what they're doing. They're not that high of a level fighter.
Yeah. And
you build people to they get to 15-0, 20-0.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? But people can do the same type of thing.
This is not a shot at Khabib. This is it?
No, it's not. It's not a shot. But it's like I know people on the regional scene coming up are kind of like, yeah, I might as well fight some smart fights, and then when I get to the bigger show, that's where I get tested. I think you should get tested along the way, so you've been there before.
Well, you're the opposite. You had one professional
Mine
fight.
was different. My path, yeah, I couldn't foresee my path.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I would have taken on whoever, anyone in my weight in the in the regional scene. Let's fight.
Mm-hmm. If somebody else was coming up the way you came up, would you say jump right into it like you did, or would you say build yourself up?
If you got the opportunity like I did, I don't think you can really say no to that.
Your goal is to be in the big leagues. Go to the big leagues, kid.
But there's something to be said for if you could take if I could have had more amateur fights or more if I had like 5 or 6 pro fights before Dana White was at my fight, he just happened to be at my first one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, maybe that could be a more ideal way, but at least me, I'm comfortable to. I knew I'd have to show my growing pains
in front of the world,
which
yeah.
But I'm cool with that.
You have to show your abs in front of the world too, though.
Fuck yeah, brother.
A lot of abs.
Fuck yeah, brother.
Yeah, there's a lot of abs out there. What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, if they were like, Gerard, you want to go fight? I'd be like, you have to give me 18 months.
I took my first UFC fight on 2 weeks' notice.
2 weeks' notice?
Yeah.
Wow. Then you won that one.
Yeah, and then I got the fight. They were like, yeah, if you beat this guy, you can fight CM Punk. So I was like, all right, whatever. I didn't know who it was. I didn't know if I was fighting a top 10 guy or whatever. I just said okay.
Let's
go. What I mean? And then
fighters fight.
Yeah, won that one, and then I got to fight CM Punk.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, bro.
That's lit.
CM Punk's back in the old WWE now.
I heard.
Ooh.
I heard.
He's he's switched over from the old All Elite. Now he's back in the WWE.
Yeah. What's the storyline over there?
I don't know. I haven't watched in a long time. I used to be, as you know, I'm big Mark. Was a big Mark in the Attitude Era. Big Mark. NWO and WCW. I even liked ECW.
Bro, I like our new table.
You like
this? I feel
this
like
thing?
I can get a little physical with it. I could, I could do a little pelvis thrust into it, and it's not going anywhere.
Proud of this table.
I mean, I could.
Proud of
pelvis
this table.
thrust hard. I could probably knock it over, but what I mean? I'll be nupping to it.